This is Daily Blast Live. We're talking about what you're talking about. Real, honest, entertaining, live. DBL starts right now.
3, 2.
Welcome to DBL. I'm Sam here with Al and Jeff. Now, today we are looking back on some of our favorite moments from the show. And the one that got our DBL Nation talking was when I mentioned the fantastic show Anne with an E. It was during a discussion about airing inspirational stories on Netflix. Watch.
Jeff, do you want to tune in for inspirational stories of hope? I want to be entertained, bro. It's like, look, no matter what you say about football or UFC or a movie or video games, people are doing those things because they are entertaining. And my kids don't want to see inspirational stories of hope. They don't. They want to be entertained.
You can have both, Jeff.
Name one show.
You can have
Jeff, name one.
Anne with an E. Anne with an E.
Don't act like that's your mic drop. No one's heard of that show.
Wow. Based on the Anne of Green Gables books, Anne with an E, it's inspirational, it's feel-good, it's educational, and it is entertaining. There is plenty of room and plenty of people out there that want to see inspirational programming that is also entertaining, Al, but I don't think it needs to come from this couple.
Yeah, it's called The Blind Side. But you said it like everybody knew what you were talking about, like it was the first Star Wars.
Knows Anne
no one's
Green
ever
Gables.
heard of it.
Everyone's heard of Anne of Green Gables.
What is the concept? What is it?
It's a young orphan feminist, and she loves to read, and she...
This is a terrible pitch.
What?
It's a young person that likes to read. All right.
She's unbelievable, and her imagination is infectious and contagious, and I can't wait for Sophie to watch it one day. It's a little old for her. I would say the best age group for Anne with an E is around 2nd grade. So for all those parents
it's a pretty tight demo
there,
you're going for there, buddy.
What's that? Arash, our producer, she's way ahead of her time.
Yes.
Yeah, because this takes place in like the 1800s.
It sounds like it
I think I'm going to leave.
Enough. Jeez. Anybody write in about Anne with an E?
No one's seen it. Let's do the next story.
Nobody. Oh, somebody did. Doris Shoemaker. I saw Anne with an E. It is great. Appreciate you, Doris.
Is she in the second grade?
You. No, she has her profile picture up. She is definitely not in the 2nd grade. Ryan Reynolds is starting a campaign to get Anne with an E back on air. So there you go, boys.
First of all, for the audience that hasn't watched, last week Sam made this huge point, and we've been texting about it all weekend.
Yeah, did you watch it?
Of course not.
Well, Ryan Reynolds thinks it's cool. Ryan Reynolds.
Why don't you try to sell it again? Because the pitch you gave us the first time was really knocked my socks off.
Oh, wow. Before we go, we have another person that's all about Anne with an E. So we got Ryan Reynolds, I mentioned earlier. He really wants to see Anne with an E come back. And then also William Shatner. But if you call me Anne, please call me Anne with an E.
I'd rather get strangled by a plant.
Oh, my God. And Russell Simmons, and a laundry list of really cool people.
Name one other name on that list.
What?
You said a laundry list.
You know, there's a petition with 1.2 million people that
Do you have any other names? Do you have any names? You have 1.2 to choose from.
I'm sorry. Ryan Reynolds, William Shatner,
You already said those.
and Russell Simmons aren't good enough for you?
I don't think she knows for sure that Russell Simmons signed that.
I know for a fact he did.
Jeff, have you watched it?
No.
So have you watched it yet?
No.
Wow. I guess you guys don't want to watch good TV. That's on you, Booze. That's totally on you.
Shame for not watching Anne with an E.
As hosts, we are sometimes grilled for our fashion choices, but on one occasion, we decided to dig into our closets and find out our most embarrassing outfits, and then it took an unexpected turn. Have a look.
I thought you were wearing the dress that you were going to make fun of.
Wow. Hey, to Jeff's point.
Stop it.
No, what do you mean? I thought she was bringing it back, the puffy shirt.
No, he is so right. I had to tape down. These puffy sleeves are way puffier. And I'm just going to, see, there's tape here. They're so puffy and ridiculous. Like, yes, I love Anne with an E, but I don't want to look like I'm from the Victorian era.
Well, let's see. Let's take a look at. We have some screen grabs of what you. There's one. The puffy shirt episode from Seinfeld.
Oh my God! Wow.
And more up your alley. There you go.
Oh my gosh! Little House on the Prairie. You know what? You're so right. I felt it this morning. That's why I had to tape down the sleeves. And I'll be honest with you, I wore it because I have an account with Rent the Runway. I ordered this dress. I wanted to get my bang for my buck, even though I look a little ridiculous.
And the viewers are commenting about this.
No,
yeah,
I
yeah.
think you
Christina
look
Adams.
perfect, darling.
Thank you, Erica.
Listen, this is all just a bit, by the way, before you get your fingers all moving. Jeff's so mean to Sam. Anyways, we set this whole thing up. Christina Adams.
No, you didn't.
I'm going to look like a jerk.
No, you don't. You don't look like a jerk. You look
By
like
saying, Sam, I thought this was a
I made fun
shirt
of
that
your
you should have
painted
retired.
on jeans, and you're wearing painted on jeans again today. It's okay.
They're not painted on. And by the way, I don't care what it looks like. Yeah, this was set up. I didn't just do that off the whim. Even Erica's at home, and she's like, no, girl, you look good.
What
She's
did the
sticking up
viewers
for you.
say?
Well, it doesn't matter now.
What would they say? They
Christina
like
Adams
it.
said, I thought they retired puffy sleeves. They live. I ruined the whole
Someone
bit,
just
but
wrote
I don't want to be a mean guy.
Someone wrote shoulder pads question mark, ha ha ha, like football. No, I agree with you guys tenfold. Otherwise, I wouldn't have taped down my sleeves. I look ridiculous today. I look absolutely ridiculous.
That's all on you.
I know. Welcome back to DBL. Oh my God. I untaped them. Oh my gosh, you guys.
Leave them up.
In fact, Ray wrote in, where is it? It's hilarious. He says, Rent the Runway. What runway from 1992 is that dress from? Wow. Boop. Okay. I can't believe I wore that. All because I didn't want to waste money from Rent the Runway.
You look like Cinderella going to a club on Sunset Strip. Like you really do. Didn't it seem like a woman of the evening from the 1800s? Sam.
I'm crying.
That was amazing.
Oh my goodness. Al, I also recall you trying to pull off some questionable fashion.
I've taken some
Watch.
swings.
I'm Tori here with Al.
Hello.
In your smoking jacket.
It is.
Looking smoking.
It's a little, I don't know if I can get away with it because it's summer and it's corduroy. I've gotten some pushback.
You know, have you? You've had some pushback?
Little pushback.
I appreciate it a lot. Stephanie Jones, if you were here, you'd say, where's your foxhound? Where's the hunt?
Yes, I definitely should be on horseback.
Yeah.
I'm excited. You know what? I think Al can actually pull off
Yeah.
looks that not many people can. So I've got faith in him, you know?
I totally agree. And again, not to rub it in, but when we did go do that hat segment 3 years ago, you bought a lot of hats, and he pulled off a beret, Steph, with a pom-pom on it. Do you remember that?
I do.
And you pulled it off.
I mean,
We'll have to wear that.
How?
It was crazy.
How?
Very carefully. Look at that. Hello, ladies.
Can you just tell me, Steph, he looks ridiculous. Al, what look is that called? If you had to be like, that's the look of?
Cross the street.
Cross the street,
Yes,
walk
that's
away.
a strange man.
You absolutely did not pull off that beret with the ginormous snowball on top of it.
I just wonder if there's any outfit that I can pull that, because I still have the beret at home. I
remember going to get that. That was fun. That was a fun.
That was a lot. There was a lot going on
little
that
excursion.
day. Yeah. So there was
Could he pull off the
some
beret,
things
be
that were
honest,
interfering
Jeff?
with decision making.
Yeah. Al, you looked handsome. I say you bring it back.
Thank you. I will. That's
I
my
thought
buddy
the show was
supporting me.
supposed to be honest.
Oh, I'm shooting straight.
Okay. Coming up on DBL, a look back at those memorable twins, Tim and Fred Williams, whose reaction to Phil Collins went viral, what they think of their overnight fame, and the new songs they've discovered. And Tori's hilarious conversation with comedian Jeff Foxworthy about finding rare treasures right in your own home. Could you be sitting on a gold mine? That's next.
The Verified team is here to fact-check the suspicious things you see online. With the pandemic pinching pocketbooks, more people are looking for Black Friday deals on a budget. And that's why this warning from the Better Business Bureau about fake deals on gaming consoles caught the Verified team's attention. Let's look at how the scheme works so you can spot all of the red flags yourself. You spot a popular gaming console for sale online with a great price. The seller's website usually has a couple of positive reviews. You buy it using PayPal or another similar online payment system and get an email confirmation and a tracking number. The BBB says if you get a package at all from the company and it's not a gaming console, instead it may be a cheap phone cover or small object, well, they warn since you technically received a shipment, you won't be able to contest the purchase with the third party who processed the payment. The BBB says bottom line here, don't buy from sellers you don't know or trust. Watch out for flash sales, and if the price is just too good to be true, it probably is. If you have something you want verified, send us an email at verify@WUSA9.com.
Welcome back to DBL. Jeff Foxworthy has made us laugh for decades, but now he's trying to make you rich. His new show goes into the homes of ordinary people with extraordinary items. Tori caught up with Jeff earlier in this encore, Chatting with the Stars.
The legendary Jeff Foxworthy, thank you for talking to DBL. Most of us are spending our extra time watching TV while you actually made a TV show. So besides staying busy, you also shaved your stash. I'm so interested in this. In the first time in 40 years, what was that reaction like for everybody? How did your face feel?
My wife and I have been together 36 years and she had never seen me without it. So when the pandemic hit and they started canceling shows, I thought now's the perfect time to do it. My wife, who's never seen me without it, looked at me and went, oh wow, grow it back. So I literally shaved it one time and I started growing it back. And now I know it takes about 2.5 weeks to grow it back. You know, as far as the show, we had actually last fall, we had planned to do this show with a live audience this summer.
Wow.
And then the pandemic hit and we were like, well, you can't do a live audience. And so we started talking about, we were like, could you go in somebody's home virtually? Could they take their phone and walk us down the hall and let us meet the dog and, you know, open the sock drawer and pull out this weird thing? And that made it fun to me.
As a collector, I am so excited because some people could be sitting on a gold mine and not even know it.
These people had things that they were hoping might be worth $50 and they were worth thousands or tens of thousands. In one case, somebody had something sitting there in their home that was worth $500,000.
So your new show to me is a little bit like Virtual Antique Roadshow meets like Jeff Foxworthy at a dive bar. Like it's just so much more relaxed version of that. Are you a collector yourself?
I look for artifacts all over the country. Probably the weirdest collection, you can see a few of them there, is I collect signed baseballs, but not by baseball players. Like being a comic, I have baseballs signed by Bob Hope, Johnny Carson, Richard Pryor, you know, George Carlin. I have balls signed by 5 presidents. But when people come in to look at them, they're expecting a baseball player, and they're like, whoa, whoa, who did Bill Clinton play for? I didn't know Bill Clinton played baseball. So, yeah, it's kind of fun.
All right, can you give us a sneak peek into the most craziest or most expensive? Was that $500,000 one? Was that the most expensive one you guys will see on the show? That's crazy.
$500,000 is the most expensive that we've found so far. As far as crazy, one couple, they had the newspaper announcing Lincoln's assassination.
Whoa.
I mean, this old newspaper. But as we're talking to them about it, I'm looking over their shoulder, and on the wall behind them, there's a 2-headed calf that's been mounted by a taxidermist. And I'm like, I'm not even interested in the newspaper anymore. I'm like, where do you get a 2-headed calf?
I've been really excited to see the show. This seems like a binge-worthy sit-down. 7 episodes later, I'm like, I could get a 2-headed calf. Like, that's my type of show. I did comedy in LA. I'm not at all a road comic, but I wanted to know how you felt the comedy world fitting into this situation. It's super different. How do you feel it can kind of work through this whole coronavirus pandemic?
Part of the job as a comic, we're truth tellers. Even if the news doesn't tell the truth, comics hold things up and go, Why is this like this? Why do we say this? Why do we do this? I think we've lost the ability to laugh at ourselves because here's the truth. Everybody's a mess. Everybody has made mistakes. I remind myself, everybody I'm going to be looking at is going through a struggle. It might be financial, might be physical, might be emotional. Have grace with people. You don't know what they're dealing with. I don't think that laughter makes the struggle go away, but I do think laughter is kind of like the release valve that keeps the boiler from exploding. Let's just be kind to each other. That's a much, much better way to live.
Welcome back to DBL. Tim and Fred Williams are twin brothers whose delightful discovery of new music has turned them into viral sensations. I spoke with them earlier in today's DBL Spotlight. Tim and Fred Williams, oh my goodness, welcome to DBL. So to our viewers, I was just talking to Tim and Fred off camera. Let me tell you, I was disclosing to them what a huge fan I am. But to our viewers, of course, they know you because you two pretty much broke the internet with your reactions to Phil Collins in the Air tonight. Which now, by the way, I don't know if you guys have checked recently, 7 million views. What was it like seeing it go insanely viral nearly overnight?
Yeah, that was crazy how we can have an effect on a song and people care about our opinion because, you know, they just big celebrities, and just to see everybody share and show love, that was exciting and amazing.
Well, I have to say, I think it has a lot to do, of course, people are listening to these songs with you and it's very nostalgic, but also you two come off very humble, very appreciative, very kind. Your likability is also resonating with viewers, and I think in today's day and age, we need that. We really need two positive people to just allow us to just escape. So what other songs blew you both away, like the Phil Collins song? Do you guys have some favorites?
One of my favorites is Annie Lennox, Linkin Park.
Yes.
Dolly Parton, that was, Jolene, that was a good one.
And Dolly Parton reacted to you guys.
Yeah, that was crazy. Yeah.
Crazy. In fact, you guys started out reacting mainly to rap, but what made you start checking out genres that you were not familiar with, or at least less familiar with?
Yeah, somebody requested Frank Sinatra, Under My Skin, and that was crazy because after that, then people just start requesting old 70s, 60s. Yeah.
Yeah, I get locked into like my specific genres. So I'm actually learning about certain music with you guys too. In fact, Tim, you heard rock and roll for the very first time with Aerosmith's Dream On. It gave you mega goosebumps.
Give you some goosebumps, man.
What about that song gave you chills?
Yeah, it's just amazing because that was like my first rock song I ever heard, so I didn't know the instruments was playing, the voice, like how they just do their own sound, and it's different from rap.
I love your appreciation for music. Okay, so before we let you go, we have a few songs we wanted to introduce you to. These are 3 of my favorite songs, so take a listen to this one. It's Crazy Train, Ozzy Osbourne. Okay, so that wasn't the full song, but you guys got a feel for Crazy Train. What do you think of Crazy Train?
I just love his passion and his voice that he have, and at his age that he can still do it. It's crazy.
I know. He's like the rock star goals. Okay, so here's another song that I remember. This is Santeria Sublime. I don't practice Santeria. I ain't got no crystal ball. What did you think of Sublime?
Yeah, it's a good song. And then I like the beginning how it surprised you, so you ain't expect it. Yeah, and then I heard a little storytelling, and
Finally, this song. Oh my gosh, I can't wait to see your reaction. Sitting on the Dock of the Bay, Otis Redding. Enjoy.
I'm sitting on the dock of the bay, watching the tide roll away.
Yeah, so that's Otis Redding. You guys also need to take a deep dive into some Otis Redding. What do you think of Otis Redding?
I love how chill it was. Just like this is a chill, but you just sit back and just enjoy the song.
Thank you for joining us. And to our viewers, check out Tim and Fred's YouTube channel, Twins, The New Trend. Get your goosebumps on right along with them. Tim and Fred Williams, you two are awesome. Thank you so much for stopping by.
Thank you.
No problem.
Bye, guys. We'll be right back.
Bye.
See you.
Welcome back to DBL. Before we go, I know some people think hosting the show is easy, but reading the prompter is harder than it looks, especially for Jeff. Oh. Watch.
And Caitlin Barstow gave it her all on the dance floor as Cruella DeVille from 101 Dalmatians. Hold on, I got a message. It's Kristen Barstow.
Oh, good. I'm glad we got that right.
Bristol. Did I say it right? I don't care. Speaking of parenting messes, Marie Osmond says she won't leave any of her millions to her kids. Instead, she's giving all her money to charity. The 60-year-old performer says she's leaving none of her fortune to her kids. I don't know what this says.
Is that bad for them?
Is this going to be bad for these kids? Let's talk about it. Country singer Miranda Lambert has reportedly put her husband on the payroll. Brendan McLaughlin recently retired from being a New York City police officer and is now on tour with his wife, working as her security guard, or just a security guard in general. I'm not sure. Fans have stopped her hubby.
Spotted.
Yeah, we got it. He's doing security for her now. That's the end of the story.
That's my favorite thing when Jeff does that.
That's my favorite. Just get to the end.
You know what I mean, though? What's the problem here? He's the new security guard. Let's talk about it. What do you mean bags? What was that with bags?
Is that weird?
He was checking bags?
That's a security guard.
Right.
We got it. We know it in details. If you're a dog walker, we don't need to know that there was a leash. We got it.
But Jeff, I love that. I love how you just get to the point, you're like, they're getting divorced.
Because I tell people, listen, for people who don't know out there, I had a real struggle when we started with the teleprompter. I mean, like real. When I used to host back at CBS, I would memorize everything so I didn't have to use the prompter.
Wow.
And it came to a point where I had to step up, and I called a producer in LA. I'm like, they want me to do the teleprompter. What should I do? He goes, you take every opportunity. You study as long as you can. So I spent hours reading teleprompter. It's a real skill. But to our writers sometimes, just get to the story. You know what I mean?
Hey, you've come a long way, baby.
Al looks great in that jacket. Not like, I don't need to know what kind of shoes you're wearing.
I have so much respect for you, how you used to go back and study. DBL's new every day. We'll see you later, same time, same place. Bye, guys.
That was a good job.